Good day, I'm Billy, GM60X, and in this video, a short video, I'm going to show you how to use MixW and the FTDX10 to do some BPSK31 or PSK63 as well. I like MixW. This is 3.2, it's the older one. I have MixW4, but I personally find the older version, 3.2, much easier to use and has less bugs. First of all, we need to go to hardware and CAT, change the settings to allow our transceiver to talk to the software. This is older software, so it doesn't have the FTDX10 listed. So what we can do is we can put the CAT to YAESU, put the model to 991. That will allow the FTDX10 to work. Also, you'll see I've ticked AFSK in place of FSK, so it's audio phase shift gain. That's what I prefer. It's just down to you, however you decide to do it. So I have that ticked. And you'll see the wee details box, just tick that, and once you click it, it allows you to select the COM port, the baud rate. I've got 38400, the stop, the data bits is 8, the stop bits is 2, parity none, RTS and DTR always on. So that will allow the radio to work with the software. And remember, you need to actually change the settings on the radio, so make sure you've got the baud rate and DTR settings correct on your transceiver as well. At the very bottom, it allows you to use the mouse to scroll for the VFO. So re-scroll option, re-scroll wheel on your mouse will actually allow the VFO to go up or down if you tick that box. Next is to tick the PTT or set up the PTT, so hardware, PTT, and the COM port's different here. It's two separate COM ports in FTDX10, so I have RTS as PTT and DTR as CW. So that's the main settings there. Again, you might have a transceiver that only has one COM port being displayed, so you would need to use the PTT and CW via the CAT. Next step is to select the sound card. So sound device settings from the hardware, top option. You can see the device. This will vary if you're using a TNC or things like that, where you're using it direct from the transceiver. So we'll have the input and output will be USB codec. That'll be the same if you've got the 7300 or any kind of modern transceiver that has a built-in sound card. So we'll just select whichever one applies to you. Then we'll click OK. That will save that. Now we need to actually adjust the volume. So we'll have the input and the output volume. Again, that's from the hardware. This will open up a small source box or sound box. You can see the various inputs here. We'll select the USB codec one, click levels, and you can see if we reduce the audio or the line in volume down, it's the waterfall is dramatically affected by the input volume. So if we don't have enough volume getting into the software, it won't decode properly, and likewise if we have too much, it won't decode properly. So it will take a bit of adjusting during and after the QSOs, and you can imagine when we start to adjust filters on the transceiver, the audio on the screen on the waterfall will again also vary. So this is very important that we understand how to adjust the volume and where to actually find that in the software. Without getting into too much detail of the software, you can change all the colours. You go to hardware, text, and you go to text colours, and you can change the receive window background colour, the receive text. Every colour in the software you can change. I like it all black as it's easier on the old eyes. Okay, next thing we need to do is set a macro. A macro is a pre-typed message that we'll use for our transmissions. So you just right click on one of the macro boxes in the label. I'll call this one CQ call. So the first thing we need to do is tell the radio to transmit. So we'll go into program option here, and then we'll look for TX. Click the wee arrows, that sends it over, so that means the radio is going to go into transmit. So we'll just click TX there, and again you've got various options down the side there, but we only need TX here. And you can use the text macros, but I just like to manually type. So a few dots just to start off the transmission, and then I'll have CQ, 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 DE for from, and then GM60X, 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 please K, PSK, and then in order to tell the radio we're going to receive, we'll click here RX and clear, and we'll send it across. The reason I click RX and clear is so in the text window plane, which is the one just above the waterfall, I'll actually clear the text after the transmission, and that's why I like to use that one. you can have anything in here. You just manually type it to suit your call, or it could be any text. So that's the CQ call. So let's select the next one. We'll call this reply 1. So this is what will happen once a station replies to us. Again, click TX, we need to tell the transceiver to TX. And here we'll go into the text macros from here, and we'll select call, and then that's the actual other person's call. So we can't manually type in the call here, we need to use the option call, because when the call is changed in the log, it will automatically update. Alright, so it's important that we use call, and then we just put DE for from GM60X, and here we can type whatever we want. You know, good day, your name, your location, your antenna, your power, your age, when you're first licensed. There's lots of things that happens here, especially in PSK contacts, so we can actually just manually type whatever we want. So I'll put good day, 599, my name is Billy, and we'll have the QTH. Now again, you can manually type your QTH, or just put locator. I like putting QTH locator. We'll type that in there, and again, next step, we can put anything we want. Let's see what we've got here, a wee antenna and power, and absolutely anything. Alright, again, we'll put call, so it'll take the call from the log, DEGM60X. And again, we need to tell the transceiver you're going to receive, so we click receive or RX and clear, and that will clear the window. So click OK for that. Right, let's make another one, so we'll right click it. Let's say this will be the final one, so we'll just stick final in here. And you can call these whatever you want and actually have anything, any kind of text you want in it. Alright, this is just a quick run through of how to set it up. There's plenty of videos on YouTube already showing you how to go into details of this. So again, TX for transmit, call, DGM60X, thanks for QSO, or short QSO here. And again, just put whatever you want. Alright, I'm only doing this is only to show you a small demonstration of how this software and how to actually do a PSK31 QSO. So I'm just going to keep it short and sweet and nothing fancy. So the rig is an FTDX10, tenors and loop. Oh, you type up, and you can put power in here. You can put whatever you want. But again, you'll start to see a lot of people even put software versions of their computer, software such as Windows or operating platform even. So there's various types of information that's very common here for a PSK QSO. So full details in qrz.com, 73 from Bonnie, Scotland, and I've put the country in there for that reason. I'll show you a wee cool thing that MixW does. Then again, we have call DEGM60X, and then it will be RX and clear, because I like to keep the window clear. Okay, we'll just make a final one, because I'll always say come back with something else. So again, transmit, and we'll just put 73 cheerio, or 73 good luck, thanks for the call. But if you don't, 73 thanks. So again, you get used to the kind of shorthand text when you start doing these modes, and again, there's lots of information online of what these shorthands abbreviations actually mean. So that's all our macros. It doesn't actually matter what mode we do now, we've got those macros saved. So if we go into mode, and you'll see it's ticked in BPSK31, click CW, the radio will go to CW. It'll also narrow the filter because the transceivers went to CW, and the VFO is changed. Okay, so let's switch back to BPSK and let's have a look at the settings for that. So let's look at the mode settings. So we're going to mode, we select BPSK31, so we click that. But if we want to actually change that to BPSK63, we just go to mode settings, and here we've got all the actual options of that mode. We can change the baud rate to 62.5, which is also known as 63. We've got the BPSK31, it's 31.2 if I mean right. So again, it doesn't matter which mode we select from the mode option at the top. If we go into mode settings, we can actually change the details of that mode. So that will be set for whether it's BPSK31 or 63, or if it's RTTY, whether it's 45 by 45 baud rate or 75. it doesn't really matter, it's just in the mode settings. So we've got it back, change back to mode BPSK31. Let's just find a frequency for that. We'll do some adjustments of the sound card as well, just to increase the audio input into the waterfall. It's a bit quiet. You'll see down at the bottom here we've got the wee option lock. If I click somewhere on the waterfall and I click the lock button, it'll actually keep that position locked in the waterfall for when I go to transmit. Looks a bit light here in the waterfall, so we'll just put the input up a wee bit and see how that goes for decodes. Find a clear frequency, which we've done. We've got the frequency indicator locked, so we'll always transmit on that point. In case I accidentally click somewhere in the waterfall, and we just need to click CQ call. Once we click that, the transceiver will go into transmit, and we'll just need to wait for someone coming back to us. Okay, I'll just turn the mono feature on, so you can actually hear the audio tones the next time it transmits, and you'll know what BPSK or PSK sounds like. It's a bit of nonsense in the waterfall. Let's try again. That was. You'll be able to hear the actual audio tones for the transmission. Again, you don't need to have that on the radio, the monitor feature on, or just put it on so you just could hear it. And we just got to keep an eye out, see if we see him replying. Again, that's just a bit of nonsense. Sometimes the calls are all broken up depending on the signals and band conditions and whatnot. So we'll just try again. CQ, the GM60X. GM60X, GM60X. Please care, please reply. Right, there we go, we've got somebody trying to call us. OH4, is that a bit broken? Really should go to QRZ. Oh, I've not got one, so quickly create a QRZ macro. What I should do is just label it QRZ, transmit that rather than the CQ call again. At least it'll let the other person know that I did hear them, I just couldn't hear them fully. Try QRZ, there we go. Somebody's trying to call us. Band conditions aren't the best. There we go, so it's definitely OH4 station GPV, right? So we'll just type its call in, OH4 GPV. Now usually you could just double click on the call sign, it would add it into the box automatically, but when it's all broken like that, we've got to manually type it in. So I'll just, there's no other way around about it other than just to manually type that in there, and then we'll see, let's click reply. So OH4 GPV, and then again that's just everything that we typed in the reply one. You'll see it getting transmitted, and the line underneath the text is actually it being transmitted, and it's an okay pace here. But we'll go to BPSK63, you'll see it's a lot faster. So let's see if he comes back to us now. Again, might take a wee second. Hopefully he's received me. Band conditions have been absolutely terrible, to be honest with you. There we go. Oh, broken. Come on. Let's try and put up a wee bit more. Let's see. That helps in it. Right, dry PV potentially. It looks it. We'll just see, there we go, it's a bit better than decode now. We'll see if we can double check the call. So, there we go. I'm a bit broken. Let's adjust the filters a wee bit. Bring it to the centre of the waterfall, adjust the filters. See if that helps any. not too much. Again, sometimes it's easier just to adjust the filters on the rig rather than the actual audio input. So it's JPV, there we go. Thought that might have been the case, so we'll just click the next one. Again, OH4P or JPV. We've got it corrected, and again it will send a pre-recorded message. Sometimes I find it easier just to adjust the filters on the transceiver rather than the input and output volumes, or the input volume anyway, in the software. So you will get used to your own radio and what's the quickest option for you. So 73 from Bonnie, Scotland, and watch this on the receive window at the top. It adds a wee flag. That's what I was wanting to show you. So if you add the country in, it adds a wee flag for you in the receive window. And you'll notice how that transmit window is cleared because we've used RX, and clear that window is completely blank. There we go, good copies this time, and good copy on this call, which clarifies that, which again is good. 74 years of age. There we go, we're licensed 1995 as OH4 JPV station. So I was saying to you, there's various options that you can get here or use in relation to the actual content of the messages. Mine's just very kind of plain, straight to the point, just for demonstration, but you can have whatever you want. You're going, what's that, 20 watts, 30 watts, antenna G5RV. Oh, it's cloudy over there. Many thanks for PSK31 PSK63 QSO. Again, a lot of this is kind of standard, just depends how much you want to actually put in your message. So QSL is fine via the bureau, and again we'll get the date and the time stamp at the end of the QSO. That's very common in PSK. GM60XD OH4 JPV73, and then we'll finish it off by just clicking the 73 option. Just click that there, a few dots, 73, good luck, thanks. And the final thing to do is to save it into a log. So up the top we've got the wee floppy disk button, quick save, and that will save it into a log, and it creates a new line for the next QSO. Come back to the sync. There you go. There's it. See? Broken a wee bit. See what it is. Sierra Papa 5. So we just double click that, and you can see how it's added it into the log. That's the way it should normally work. If it's a good decode, we should just be able to double click on the call, and it adds it to the log, and that will allow it the rest of the messages to be populated. I must tell you that if you try and click one of the macro buttons and it doesn't have a call in the log, a box will appear asking you for the call sign to put in. So the call sign needs to be sat in the log first, which is highlighted with the blue line on the log here above, or on mine anyway, before you try and hit any of the macro buttons. Alright, so you need to manually type it in, or double click it. Okay. So if you highlight his name and right click it, you'll see a wee box appears, and we can select name, and you can actually see how it's inserted into the log there. Again, we can do the same locator. Highlight that, click locator, I'll add it into the locator. It's QTH, highlight the QTH, right click, go to QTH, and you can see it's added in there as well. So it's another neat feature of MixW. There's lots of feature in this software, alright, or features even in this software. You need to make sure you fully understand them. There's lots of videos online, tutorials, PDFs showing you how to do that. This is just a basic introduction to a PSK contact using MixW software, so make sure you understand. Let's look at doing a BPSK63 contact. So mode settings, change it to 63. Alright, I've got 120 here, but let's go to 63 or 62.5. Let's have a contact with that. Again, everything's the exact same, it's just the bandwidth is double. So let's put a CQ call out. Quick lock, make sure you don't shift anywhere. Quick CQ. Now what you'll notice is the rate's a lot faster and the tones are different, and generally what you find with data modes is if it's a faster data mode, the bandwidth is increased in order to get that information, all the information across in a shorter time frame. So generally that's the way it works, and you'll notice the same with FT8 and FT4. FT4 is a lot quicker, but it's wider than FT8. Well, it's the same here, alright, exact same here. What I've found though is the macro, maybe CQ, GM60X10 is maybe a bit short because it's faster paced, so I usually just have that 2 lines of CQ calls for the BPSK63 contact, so I'll just quickly amend our CQ call just now. But generally that's what you find. If it's a lot faster, the band modes are wider, so the same information can get across, and it's the same here for PSK. So again, the only difference is the baud rate for this PSK. So I've got it now set to be BPSK or PSK63, and you can see it's a lot faster. The line is underneath the transmit is going pretty quick. You can hear the tones, and you'll see on the waterfall the signal is actually wider. There we go, there's somebody replying to us. You can see it's a wider signal. See, bit rubbish, try it again. You can see the difference in pace. And BPSK63 is quite fast. There's a lot of contests, and certainly used to be a lot of contests with that in RTTY. It's a bit broken again, conditions are absolutely pants. So QRZ, let them know that we are hearing them, but just not fully. Or decoding them. A wee bit more of a skill using this type of mode rather than your classic FT or FT4, that's for sure. Okay, let's get a wee CQ call out then. It's always worthwhile doing 2 lines for CQ. In the 63 mode, here we go. Oh, Echo Sierra 2, Alpha, Echo, Echo. So Estonia, just double click that, again puts it into the box, in the log, quick reply, and look how fast this reply is going. Absolutely flying through. Absolutely flying. You'll come back, hopefully. There we go. Again, conditions. Lighting is down. Getting bits it. It's QTH. It's Laketa. Alexander. Back to you. Okay, we'll just send final. There we go. Thanks for QSO. Absolutely flying here. The text. See if we can get the wee flag. Yep, wee flag appears. I love that feature. Again, bad conditions. Thanks anyway. Oh, there you go. QRZ. All info's in QRZ.com. Thanks for QSO, dear Billy. Best wishes. Good luck, good DX. And 7-3. So I'll send a wee 7-3 back. 7-3, good luck, thanks. And that is BPSK63 or PSK63. Very, very quick. Just don't forget, save that, click the save button. That allows us to save the log.